Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. And as you see, we have my special guest. Well, all my guests are special as far as I'm concerned. Thank you. Ms. Kendell Cobb, who is a hypnotherapist, life coach, business consultant, wonderful wife, excellent mother of two girls, I do believe, or is it three? I started to say, is it four? I think she only got two, so I'm gonna leave it alone before she says she's gonna do something else. But anyway, before we start, let me tell you about the day's cosmic forecast. There it is. All righty. Um, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. It is Monday, the 13th of March, 2023. The sun is in Pisces. The moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, which happens to be the sun sign of my guest, Miss Kendell Cobb. It's a one universal month, a three universal day, a five universal week, and or if you happen to be in Aquarius or Leo or Gemini or Virgo or born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month, well, this should be an interesting day for you. So now that I've got that done, folksies, all righty, let me do this. There we go. How you doing? All right, everybody. I'm going to bring my special guest on, hypnotherapist, and today is a very special day, which she's going to share with us in just a moment. Okay. Cobb, how are you?
Good,
How's
thanks.
everything?
Hi, Lloyd.
Happy New Year, happy belated birthday back in December, all those other things.
You actually wished me a happy birthday on my birthday. You didn't miss it.
Very good. Very, very good. I got
You
a lot
and
of birthdays.
Simon are really good with that.
Yeah, yeah. So today is a special day, and for what reason, as you were explaining?
Today is my 26th anniversary as a hypnotherapist.
Get out of here. That's nice.
26 years.
Yeah, you're about ready to retire, as they say. It used to be 20
No,
for a
I
while.
will never retire.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will never retire.
Let me ask you this. What led you to get into this anyway? I know you kind of explained some of it along the way, but for those that are very new and seeing you for the first time, how I think you started with your aunt or something like that?
No, no,
Or
no.
relative?
My first experience was being in labor with my second child and just having an anxiety attack about going through labor again. I had a really rough labor with my first daughter, and I just thought, I can't do this. I can't do it. I picked up the yellow pages and I just started dialing the first person I got. I went to see. It was a bad experience,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that it was real and I wanted to look into it at a much later date. But that was how I first started being interested in it. Even though it didn't work, I knew that it was real.
Well, if you had one child and you're having a kind of episode about having a second child, actually, if you're pregnant and about to give birth, there's only but so much you can do anyway, right? Would that
No,
be
that's
correct?
not true. A good
Okay, no,
hypnotherapist
that's
can
what I
handle
asked.
that.
Huh?
A good hypnotherapist can handle that.
Really? Okay.
He just wasn't one. Some EMS workers are trained in hypnosis, and if they're, dealing with a patient that's in excruciating pain, they will definitely use it like right away just to ease the pain so that they can be more comfortable, just to take away the pain. Someone's in a car accident or they've fallen down a mountain and broken their leg skiing or whatever it is. Yeah, a lot of EMS, not a lot, but there are EMS workers that know how to do hypnosis.
Question, with you having that second experience of your daughter with the anxiety and the guy wasn't good, I see it didn't discourage you from going into exactly the world of hypnotherapy.
Yeah, I'm like
You
that.
had
That
a bad
that
experience.
speaks.
Yeah, because if you thought you'd had a bad experience, you would be more turned off to say, "Oh man, I'll never teach, much less even pick up the book to read, much less study the subject."
No, I looked at it as he just wasn't very good. And it was also, there were other things, other mitigating circumstances. He had no secretary in the office. It was a dimly lit room. there was this man sitting there who he looked kind of sketchy. It was just too much
In
going against it.
other words, it
He's
didn't.
not that
In
bad.
other
Maybe
words,
it was
he
just
didn't
me
have
not
what
trusting him.
he didn't have what is called a bedside manner. Then,
No, I didn't feel safe. I mean, I didn't feel safe, but now looking back, I don't even remember much of how the session went. I just know that I was very uncomfortable with him. And
okay,
that's important. You need to feel comfortable with your hypnotherapist.
okay. Now you reside in Canada. Would that be
Toronto, yes.
Toronto? All righty. You were saying that there's something that's been on the rise recently. Can you explain that? PTSD?
A lot of my clients will fill out my form and I'll go over it. And then when we have the session, I'll say to them, have you ever considered that maybe you're suffering from PTSD? Based on everything in this file, you have been through a lot. And for many of them, it never occurred to them. Often people think of PTSD as something that happens to soldiers or to police officers. It happens to everyone. It can happen to anyone.
Now, the acronym for PTSD, for those who, believe it or not, may not understand fully what those four letters mean, the acronym for PTSD is
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
mm-hmm, okay.
So after you've been through a trauma, if you aren't able to shake it off and if you haven't gotten help for it, there's a good chance that you're carrying a lot of stress.
Okay. How
So when
then?
people can't sleep, they are overeating or undereating, um, if just their nervous system is overwhelmed, that's something you want to work on because it affects your daily life. It affects the decisions you make. It affects how you treat other people. It affects how you receive information. It affects your whole life. There's no part of your life that isn't affected by it. Your relationships. So it's important to get that worked on.
Kendall, a lot of people now are talking about trauma this, trauma that. Is that just a phrase that people are saying, or do they really understand what they're saying when they said they're going through trauma? And from your clinical definition, what is your clinical definition of trauma?
Trauma is when an experience leaves you differently, negatively, and you can't get back to your midpoint, to your comfort where you were previously. Just being Black in America is traumatic. you know we see the news, we see what the police do to us for no reason and what they get away with. We see what the justice or the injustice system does and gets away with it. How often do we see someone where they've spent 30 years in jail and then they're innocent? All of that, just seeing what's happening in the world, seeing what's happening to us is traumatic.
You know what's
Growing up, sorry?
No, I was going to say about 2 or 3 months ago, I interviewed a man that was incarcerated falsely for nearly 30 years. So it's
Mm,
interesting
mm,
you
mm.
brought that up. And to this day, he is still trying to orientate himself. But for 30 years, and with the records he had submitted and that I looked over, you could tell right away he wasn't the one, but yet they incarcerated this man anyway for all those decades.
That hurts. Wow.
Yeah, now that's trauma.
When we're done with this interview, I'd like to talk with you about him. I'd like to offer my services to him.
Okay, good enough. Good enough.
Oh,
I'll
that's
make
awful.
sure. I'll make sure.
Wow.
I'll make sure. A nice gentleman too.
Even
And
after all that.
just classy, very humble. Although he's a number nine, and nine people normally aren't humble, but he's humble. These numbers are something else, Kendall. So, so what does one do when they have trauma, and especially living the Black experience in this country and elsewhere? That people really don't have an idea of what we go through. I really don't think people understand. And yet, if you ask, would you want to trade places, they will always say no.
Right.
Somebody understands something. Okay.
Well, they might like to be us on a Saturday night from time to time, but that's about it. That's about it. But just when you think about children growing up, and I grew up in the 60s, I was born in 65. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up, and just about every image of beauty was white growing up, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So, as a little girl growing up, and I went to a pretty much all white private school for the first 5 years in school. I wanted to be like my best friend who had silky hair and white skin. I didn't even know I was black. She told me I was black. Like I
Yeah.
didn't even know, but I knew that I didn't feel as pretty as the other little girls, but I didn't know why. She actually figured it out for me in a way. And she said,
Interesting.
"Yeah, you're black and I'm white." And it wasn't that it was a criticism from her. She came from a lovely, wonderful, very accepting family. They treated me beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that, but she was the one. I was 5 years old. She was the one that explained it all to me. Now, today, children are so much smarter, so much more aware of everything. But imagine back then, I didn't even know I was black until I went to school and learned that I was black. It hadn't
Yeah.
even occurred to me.
Well, this society has a way of reminding black people that they are black, one
Oh,
way
yes. Once I knew,
or the other. Okay.
once I knew, then I started noticing a lot. Once my eyes were open to it. So when you see on the news that everyone that is in handcuffs is black, everyone going to jail is black, that's what they choose to show us. It really messes with your psyche. It really does make you think, well, maybe all the black people are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Are we black people bad? Or, does my teacher think I'm bad because I'm black? It messes with you. It has to.
Well, if you look at some of the definitions of the word black, it's always negative, evil,
Right.
this dark, you know what I'm saying, scary. Yet the
Dark,
only time,
scary, evil.
yep, but the only time black isn't mentioned like that is when people are in the black making tons of money. Then they're in the black. That black they don't mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's interesting. So what does one do to counteract or offset some of the trauma that we've gone through? Because if you are African American or black in this country, all of us have gone through it. So all of us are actually at a dysfunctional level. It's just
Right. And
depending
here in
on what
Canada
we do.
too.
Huh?
Here in Canada as well.
Really?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. My daughters shared with me that, and they went to an all white school because we lived up in the woods, a rural area with cows and pigs, not on our property, but
Mm-hmm.
around us.
Mm-hmm.
Horses, it was rural. And so all of the children in the school were white. And my daughter told me, she didn't even tell me when she was a little girl, she was an adult. And she said, no matter what you did to my hair, mommy, it was never enough. They always had something to say about it. And I said, why didn't you say anything to me? She said, because you would have made a big deal about it. And I felt like it was easier. I was like, yeah, I sure would have.
Yeah, as a parent, yeah. True.
I would have handled that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, so you went through your childhood feeling that you had ugly hair? She says, they always ask me, why is your hair so poofy?
Yeah, but they always want to touch your hair though.
I don't think they wanted to touch it, but I think it was important to them to make sure she knew that she was different, which was not it that didn't sit well with her, but she would not tell me. Because yes, I would have gone to the school and people would have been educated.
Yeah, as all good parents would do. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was really hurt
Especially,
to hear that though.
yeah, especially when there's so much miseducation nowadays, and there's the banning of books from Maya Angelou to Toni Morrison to like, really? why all these books that are banned in our public?
Even critical race theory, white people complaining that we want the real history of America to be told,
Well,
and they
then
don't
that's
want to
Black
deal with
history.
that.
That's Black history then.
That's American history.
Yeah, the American history is Black history.
Yeah.
True.
And even there, so that's traumatic to hear, to know that you live in a country where what your oppressors have done to you isn't being allowed to be taught in the schools, that they're going to sweep it under the rug and say it doesn't matter, it never, don't worry about that. You're not going to make our children feel, guilty or ashamed about what they've done. And no one said that the children have done anything,
It's
but
their ancestors.
it's
that
their
have-
ancestors, and they reap the benefits of their position in America. They should know that. And of course, this information is given age appropriately, how much the children are taught, but that's history. That is, you can't sweep history under the rug. The Germans don't do it.
Well,
And
that
look at
is.
what they've done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they make it a point to teach it in their schools to the children.
Yeah.
So, we're hurt. As a people, we are hurt and we are hurting. So, where hypnosis comes in, hypnotherapy, it's finding out what those hurts are, how they're affecting you, and to remove them. So, I'll ask questions like, there's what's on my intake form, but then there are also questions where I'll say, what's the worst thing that ever happened to you? What was the most traumatic thing that you've had to deal with? And sometimes people have to really think. And then what they say will be so big and so just such an enormous trauma, but they had to think about it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times we sublimate what really hurts us, or they'll say it and they'll say it without any emotion or anything whatsoever. They've digested it and they carry it. They carry it on a cellular level.
Wow, that's interesting. Um, have you there now? There is such a thing as self hypnosis too, right?
Yes.
And how does one do that? Or how does one know when they've hypnotized themselves, if that makes sense?
When they start seeing results. When
Uh-huh.
you see results, you know you've done it right.
Okay. All right.
It's usually easier to first go under hypnosis and be led under than it is to do it yourself. Once you've had someone put you under, it's much easier to do self hypnosis. And then even after my sessions, because I record the session, you use that for reinforcement. And that will help you also to go into self hypnosis, because now you really know what to do. You know what it feels like. You'll know when you're attaining what your goals.
Well, I tell you this, what clients I have met who have attended your sessions rave about you.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
so I'm just like one lady I met in the street. I remember I was going to call her to actually schedule her to be on the show, and then her schedule didn't permit, and we never got back full circle with that. But she had just raved about you on 7th Avenue here in New York City. It was so nice. It was very, very nice, and especially when you're doing a good job and you're helping people, and they see the immediate results too.
I try really hard, and I when people say how long is a session, I say an hour and a half. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who only spent an hour and a half with me.
Yeah, yeah. Not
Like
heard much.
we go until we get it done.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing. It's not like you saying, "Okay, it's an hour, and thank you very much."
Yeah,
And
turns out no.
yeah,
I would never do that. I just had one of my clients talk about you in his session with you. And I
really.
said, Lloyd Strayhorn, and he said, yes. Oh, you know who he is. It was amazing. He did my numerology reading, and I'm telling you, Kendall, boom, 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 all the way down the line. It was just amazing. And I said, I know Lloyd. I said, my mother knows Lloyd. I've been on his show, and yes, he's amazing. So yeah, I get a lot of that. So we have a lot of the same clients, I think.
Sure. I think so too. I think so too. And they give rave reviews. So thanks to them, much appreciated and stuff like that. Well,
Absolutely.
have you ever thought about writing a book on the subject?
Yes,
After
because
26 years?
you told me Simon Dwan Brown, and then now Astro D, who's an amazing astrologist, and she looked at my chart and she said, "You have a whole lot of money waiting for you if you write this book, and you've got to start it now." So yes, I
Well,
have.
it sounds like you're going to be my new best friend. How's that? And in fact, I spoke to her today, and I'm going to try to have her on as early as this Monday.
Really?
Yes, I
You're
am.
gonna love her. She
Yeah, no,
is
we talked
awesome.
today. We talked today, and it was just really, really nice. Just
I'm glad to
really
hear.
nice.
She is a wonderful human being, but what an astrologer.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk, and in fact, she doesn't know yet, but we talked, and I asked her what day, so she told me, and I'm saying, okay, I think we'll do something sooner than later, so
Oh,
that way she can
awesome.
come on
I
and
know she's going to be traveling soon. She's going to be going down to Vegas, but it doesn't matter. Wherever she is, she can talk.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, she always calls me with like little tidbits. She's really good.
I have a question.
Yes.
What have been obviously there have been great satisfaction because you've been doing this 26 years, so you're focused. Has there been some challenges or some, I shouldn't say regrets, but maybe second doubts about something? Does that make sense?
Oh, it happens all the time. Yeah. um, the little girl that I was telling you about,
Yeah, can you
this
share
little,
that with us again?
yeah, so she came to Canada as a refugee from Syria, she and her family. Lots of problems. Like a child going through war, that is not supposed to happen. No child is supposed to endure that. And it really, really deeply affected her and, of course, affected her family. And I was scared to death to work on her. I really was. And she was not comfortable. And usually I'm so good with kids, but she was so traumatized that she really wasn't interested in speaking with me. Her mom was there through the entire session. Never, she would have never let her go. She just, that wasn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the way her life has been affected, it's just, it broke my heart. It really broke my heart. And she canceled her first session, and I was actually relieved. I was like, "Oh, good, okay, so I don't have to do it." Like I was not looking forward to it because I also did not want to do any harm, and I had to be sure that I would not harm her further. So even while the first part of the session, which is just conversing and asking questions and feeling her out and figuring out how she thinks and what kind of approach to use with her, and to
Mm-hmm.
get her just to share some of her experiences and what she would like out of the session. It took a long time, but she was so shy and nervous that her mother did most of the speaking. When I put her under, all of a sudden she popped up straight up. She was laying down. She popped straight up. Her arms were stiff. And at that point, I was just like, oh no, what is happening? I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen that happen before, never experienced it. And I just said, and you feel safe and calm, just like when you were a baby in your mom's arms. Safe and calm, so relaxed. And then she laid back down. And I don't even think she remembers doing it, but she was processing something. She's
Mm-hmm.
holding a lot in her body. And so that was terrifying. Kept talking her through, counted her back up, and she was all smiles. All smiles. I couldn't believe it. And then the next day I checked with her mom. She said, you wouldn't believe it. She woke up this morning. She was so happy. She's been so pleasant and so easy. And she wants to know if she can listen to her recording. She really enjoyed it. And she said she regrets that she didn't speak with you more, that she didn't say more, and that she didn't engage. She said, but she still received the results. I'm so thrilled, so happy for her. And then I did the dad also Sunday night. I'm doing the aunt. They're all Syrian refugees that went through this war.
Yeah, but I noticed whether they go through wars or not, families tend to use your services.
Yeah. Well, if one person is helped, then naturally they're going to tell the rest.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
But
I
that
do. I
should
work
be,
with a lot of families,
but that should
and
give you a good feeling though, to
breaking
be
those
able to help
generational
a family.
curses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do things in our families and we don't even realize how detrimental they are to one another. And people just sort of shrug like, I don't know, it's always been like that. Yeah, I beat my children. I got beaten. I'm still here.
Yeah, I got spanked, but I'm telling you this, every spanking I got, I deserved. So I ain't gonna front. I was one of those kind of kids, okay? So anyway, but at least being honest. And what I want the viewers to do is, no, I'm not doing readings today, but if you got questions about hypnosis or stereotypes, or, for example, when you first came on, I think some of the things you see on like TV or on a movie is they got certain people up, 3 or 4 people up on the stage. One they got cracking like a duck, one they act like they singing, and I think, is that what makes people maybe hesitant about going to a
Absolutely.
hypnotherapist, stereotypes like that, because who wants to
Absolutely.
look silly?
And that stage, that's for fun. And what goes on in this office is about healing and just improving your life in whatever which ways you need to. It's also lots of medical work is done through hypnosis, lots of medical work,
When
weight
you say
loss.
that, when you say lots of medical work, what does that mean? When a person's hypnotized, they take medicine or prescribe medicine?
No, no, no. People that have medical conditions can improve their health.
Ah, okay.
So it could be that you're diabetic and you've got to eliminate salt and change your diet, and you need to start exercising. I mean, so many different things. I work with cancer patients. I work with so many different things. I can't even think of them all, but lots of whatever. Hypnosis is used for so many things medically as well as emotionally, and then just basic changes in life, just habits. So, sometimes people think that it has to be a really big deal that you see a hypnotherapist for. Sometimes it's just really basic, easy things,
Well,
easy
I
things.
have some questions for you already. And
Oh,
one
okay.
says, Miss Kendall, how can a clinician of color like myself get trained in hypnotherapy?
Ah, there are many bodies that train in hypnosis. I went through the University of Toronto. Where are you located?
She did not say. Maybe she'll give us some feedback from that later. Let's assume she's within the states, the U.S.
Yeah, there is. What is it called? What does it say? What is the name of it? Hold on. I'm going to be right back. I can't
Alrighty.
believe this.
Okay. And in the meantime, we do
The
have our.
National Guild of Hypnotherapists.
Boy, that was fast. Okay. I'll
Oh,
repeat that
I
again.
was looking actually at my certification, National Guild of Hypnotherapists. I didn't
Okay.
remember because I hardly ever go to any of the conferences.
Okay. I have another one here. This is from Auntie. She says, "Do you work with pregnant women?" I would
Yes,
imagine you
Auntie,
do.
I do. I
Um,
do.
okay, good.
Are you looking for hypnobirthing?
Hold
I
up.
haven't done that in a long time
There's a
because,
thing called hypnobirthing.
yes, and
Can
I
you tell us
stopped
about that?
doing it many years ago because this woman's baby, she didn't feel the contractions at all. And the baby almost just slipped out onto the floor when she got into the hospital. She came through the front doors. She was pregnant with twins, and she had to catch the baby in her hands.
Wow. DeConte, the lady that says she lives and works in Minnesota.
She can contact the
The
National Guild of Hypnotherapists.
National Guild of Hypnotherapists. Then when she contacts them, what's the next step? She asks
Just tell
about,
them that she would like to train and
okay,
ask who's local for her. There will be someone that can train her locally.
okay. There's another person here, Tamika Turner. She says she's enrolled at HMI to become a certified hypnotherapist. Are you familiar with HMI?
I am not, but congratulations, Tamika. I'm so happy to see more people of color entering this field. We need it.
And this person here, Lamont Sinclair, says, what is your opinion on psychedelic assistant hypnotherapy? That's interesting.
I don't have an opinion on it because I really don't know about it. I think when you're on psychedelics, that's already a that's a lot. I mean, I don't know if he's talking when he says psychedelic assisted, I don't know if he means microdosing or a full flood dose.
Uh-huh.
A
Okay, so
full
he's gonna
flood
have
dose
to look
with
at you.
hypnotherapy, I don't think would even work. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I would not try it.
Okay.
That's a little scary for me. It's a little exotic.
Priz Imbu says, glad to be here. Can you do hypnosis via Zoom? She's dying to have a session with you.
All my sessions are through Zoom. All
Very,
of
very
them.
good.
These days, everything is Zoom. And it
We're gonna
works. Do you know what? It works even better than coming into an office. After your session, you're nice and relaxed and you're already home. You don't have to break that vibe by going out into traffic and having to drive or take a bus or a train. It actually works better. You're in the comfort of your home.
Okay, this is another one from Neo. It says, does hypnotherapy allow a person to remember events from childhood, such as infancy? She's curious if you can remember a loved one that has transitioned.
Infancy, maybe, maybe not. Not a lot of people can go back to infancy, but but early years, yes. It's called regression.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's what they call it.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see who else. Let's see here. Yep, there are no readings today. This is just to ask my guest. We will have a person on Wednesday to do readings with the tarot, and on Monday with the astrology. That is Astro Day. Um, I'm gonna call as soon as we finish.
Oh,
I,
good.
yeah, I'm gonna move some things around, so I think that will be good. Let me see what else. They says Journeys of the Soul by Michael Newton is a great book. Have you read it? They want to know.
I have not read Journeys of the Soul, no.
Are you familiar with Michael Newton, the author?
Yes. I'm going to check out Journeys of the Soul, though.
Okay, good. And this
Definitely sounds like past life regression.
okay. And JB says since then they've been interested in a topic that was for many years ago. I guess interested in the subject of hypnosis
Of
and whatnot.
hypnosis. It's
Yeah.
fascinating. You know, part of the reason why I was stuck about writing a book was because I did not want to divulge a lot of information from clients. And I was thinking, how do I go about doing a book without?
You can write fictional. You just give an example without naming names.
Yes and no. I can, but certain things I have to be careful with because it was in a small town.
Sure. Oh,
Although I
do
did
you have to
have a
name
lot
the
of
town?
people. Sorry?
Do you have to name the town?
I don't have to name the town, but a lot of people know where I started.
That's
It's
why I'm laughing,
sticky.
because I know people know your history. Okay, so
Yeah,
it's funny
yeah. Like
that
they know where I started out with, when I first started my sessions. And it's a small town, although lots of people did travel to come see me from pretty far away. But I still, I'm afraid to, because some of the stories are really intense and really interesting and very unique. So yeah, but I figured out what I'm going to do. I've started my new book, my only book. I say my
oh,
new
very
book like
good,
I have a book.
very good. And when
So
it's finished,
it's in the works.
on. Good. Now, this person, JB, says they attended hypnosis show in college and was close to being all the way hypnotized, but snapped out because they got scared. I often use the breathing techniques to fall asleep. See, I think this is what we were talking about earlier, that people got this a stereotypical notion that, well, you're gonna make me act like a frog or bark like a dog
Right.
or quack like a duck or
But
something.
you know what, Lloyd? What he said was it was a show. So I'm a person that doesn't like to be publicly humiliated. I
Yeah,
get him. I
yeah.
would not be a good subject for a show because I would be too afraid to act the fool. So I would never, volunteer. But he felt himself going, right? So he knows a little bit of what it feels like, but he didn't get the full on experience of going under and what that feels like. You got to feel that. Can you express what it was like for you?
It was amazing. It was something I'd never experienced before, and you did it over Zoom, and I was
Over
very
Zoom.
relaxed, right in the comfort of my own home.
Right. So you
And
enjoyed it being
yes,
at home, right?
and in fact, I recommend it for one of my daughters too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, and the results was amazing. Really, really, truly, truly amazing. I'm trying to see if somebody got some other questions. Um, and thank my moderator for publishing your website, hypnotherapist with Kendell.com. And it's,
No,
huh?
no, it's hypnosiswithkendall.com.
Thank you. It's right in my face. Hypnosis with Kendell.com.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'm reading whatever I want to read. That's not what the deal is. Okay. It's
Okay.
like this. The moderator made it
Thank you,
clear.
moderator.
Yeah, could get it
Oh,
straight.
jazz numerology. Numerology. Now I'm
Yes,
making
she's
up
the best.
words. Okay.
She is the best. Where is it? Yeah, she just wrote a book too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Hold on. This is the book right here.
Numbers decoded, cards unfolded. Is this also cardology as well?
Yeah, she mixed numerology and cardology with it. It's excellent.
Awesome.
It's excellent. I mean, it's a great book. So
Where is that sold?
you have to go to her website, and she will publish it for us.
Yes, Jazz. Throw that up there too.
Yeah. So
I'd like to get it. Okay. Once
yeah,
she puts up her website, I'll get it from you after
yeah, this is her book. She'll
the
publish it.
website.
So let's see what new comments. You know this gentleman, King Simon, right?
A little bit.
Yes. He says her book should be called "Can You Go Crazy with Hypnotherapy?" That's my brother. God bless him. That is funny. And for Tiffany, Tiffany said she already got her book. That is from
Oh,
Jackie.
from Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz Aphrodite or Jackie Levine. That's the author of the book. And somebody here says, Mistress Monica says, awesome, Miss Jazz. That's right.
Mixtress. I
Yeah.
like that name.
So let me see. Oh, this is interesting. They says, I can't even navigate my current life. Why should I look at a past life too complicated? Is
Okay,
that correct?
I am not one that really enjoys doing the past life stuff. What I will do is find out what's happening, what kind of changes that you'd like, how it's affecting your life. I will get like all the nitty-gritty of all of that to
Mm-hmm.
do a quick flip so that you can smooth that all out and be happy and comfortable and change the course. So some people are really into past life. I'm not. I'm about like results, quick results. You want change? Let's change it now.
Okay, and let me put where people can publish this book. It's at the
There
bottom
you
of
go,
the
Jazz.
screen. This is the book, and it's going to be. I'm telling you, it's going to be a rare book. It's printed in a untraditional way. Most books are published, but that in and of itself is going to give it value, and it's fully illustrated. I mean, it's got like all kinds of
Oh,
illustrations,
wow.
color, and I mean, she just knocked this out the park. So it's about
Very
200,
nice.
and it's easy read. It's nice. It's a very great work. Not because I know the sister, but I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But
I'm
anyway,
going to check it out.
yeah. Oh, somebody got it. Says she's got her book.
And it's
Okay.
Wednesday. Yeah, I've got it. Jazz, do you deliver to Canada?
Oh yeah, she'll deliver to Canada.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shoot.
Yeah,
A
she'll deliver.
client. Sorry. I thought I put my phone on. It's on. Sorry.
Okay.
It's
Uh,
on airplane mode.
okay, good, good. All right, I'm trying to look for something else here. Um, but I think it's interesting. Oh, this is from Afro Prep now. They says, Auntie, you should be in a safe, quiet place where you can relax and not be interrupted. That makes sense. I
Absolutely.
yeah. Um,
That's Aton, by the way.
who? I thought so. Aton.
That's him. Where'd you go?
I'm here. Thank you. I'm here. All righty.
There
Um,
you are. You're back.
yes, and she says right here, the moderator says, yes, I deliver to Canada. Email me from my site, and you email it there and send her the address, and she'll make sure you get it to her. Okay.
Excellent.
And it'll be nicely packed. I can tell. I got
And
mine.
it's for beginners?
Yes, this is for actually beginners, intermediate, and professionals.
Okay.
I mean,
I was always afraid of astrology. And then I bought Astro D's book. And I'm so much further ahead because I was very nervous, like seeing the charts and all that. I thought, what?
sure.
It was just another language. But
I
she
guess people
explained
get
so much.
nervous. I guess people get nervous when they fill out your 10-page questionnaire or something like that.
Something like that.
But that's
But
where
it's
you go
not
and
anymore. I've compiled it sort of. It doesn't print out to 10 pages anymore.
okay, what
And now I do front and back. I'm using much less paper.
paper? Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
conservationist.
Let me ask you this: your
Mhm.
daughters, they've ever been interested in what you do, or say, "Mommy, can you hypnotize me?"
I
Or
have
they say, "Mommy,
hypnotized
can you
one of my
hypnotize
daughters.
my friend?"
I've hypnotized one of my daughters and I've hypnotized my son. I have 3 children, but only 2 of them I gave birth to.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's okay. Well, you
So
still
I've
got time.
hypnotized my son and I've hypnotized my eldest daughter. My eldest daughter was for swimming. She wanted to join the swim team. And my son was going through lots and lots of doing all of these certification courses in IT, and he wanted to really nail those exams. So we used it for study, and he did really well. Really,
Hmm.
really well.
Okay, good. Very good. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know who this one is. They said we restock soon because when my taxes come through. Oh, this is a person that's about to get Jazz Aphrodite's book. And
Oh,
yeah, They're saying as soon as they get their
Oh,
tax.
it needs to be restocked. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because I think her books have been sold out. I told people it's a limited edition. They didn't have to believe me, but if they do, but I'm sure she is getting more books.
I've definitely heard of her, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, she's pretty good. She's pretty
She's a
good.
big deal in the cardology world.
Yes, her and Nina Diamond and Aquarius Maximus. They
Yes.
are, let me
One, I
go
don't
ahead.
know who trained Dwan, but one of
It sounds
them
like
trained
Juan trained
Dwan.
himself.
No, he trained through one of them for sure.
He hold up. Dwayne did what now? He trained who?
Dwan trained with, I don't know if it was Jazz or Aquarius or Diamond.
I'm probably it was Aquarius Maximus, I think.
Okay, I don't know
And
which one it was, but I
that's
know he
Nina
trained
Diamond's
with one
brother.
of them.
Yeah, that's Nina. I know who this. I had him as a guest on my show because of you, and he's good. He was very, very good.
Yeah,
Out in California.
wonderful, wonderful man.
Okay. Um, Now, this one is from Auntie again. Apple Prep, thank you. I am so scared. Is there anything I can do before the session to help with that? I guess these are the people who are
Oh,
nervous in anticipation of, because I guess out of habit, we're all a little nervous when we're going into the unknown or for the
right.
first time, we're not sure. And I
Well,
can
you've
say this,
been through
be
it.
scared of. Yes,
Tell
and
her.
no, mm-mm, not at all. It was a very easy experience. You had me stretch on my couch, so I was very nice and comfortable. And then I just listened to your directions. And then I reviewed my interview that you sent to me right away. So
Yeah, the recording, the reinforcement recording.
yes, yes. And so the proof
So,
is in the pudding, definitely.
right, when I do a session, everyone gets the first part of the session is just talking and me learning about you and going over your intake form. And, you know, I'm learning how you think. While we're talking, I'm also figuring out what kind of approach to take during hypnosis. There's a lot that's going on, like under the surface, that you can't even tell. But then once we start the hypnosis part, you lay back, you get comfortable. I always say, please use a laptop, or if you have an iPad or a tablet, to have it set up so that you can hear and you can prop it up on something, because I need to be able to see when I'm counting you down and the hypnosis part starts.
Yeah,
But the whole thing is very relaxing. There's nothing to be nervous about.
not at all. Not at all. I bear witness.
And
And
did it feel good?
Jazz Aphrodite says that Dwayne was trained by
Dawn
Aquarius.
was trained by okay.
Now I got another one here from Tiffany. She says, so I got hypnotized and it didn't work at all for me. Do you have any idea why?
Who did you get hypnotized by?
She didn't say other than just this brief statement. And somebody says, Kendall, I just left a message for a 20-minute phone consultation. So evidently you got
That's who rang my phone when I didn't put it on airplane mode.
that's probably spirituality. You gotta wait a second, lady, till the show's over. Okay.
Well, I should have had it turned off. I thought
Oh,
of
that's all
everything
right.
but that.
Well, let me tell you this. In my experience of doing my shows, I've had the lights go out. I had the computer go out. I've had some interesting experiences. I had my show live, okay, and it
It's
is
nerve
live too.
wracking.
Hmm.
It's nerve wracking. I did a show with Simon, and he was down in either Florida or Atlanta, and his electricity went out, and I was just left on the screen, not knowing what to do. And I just sat
Hmm.
there when his lights came back on, and he was like, "What'd you just sit there for? Why weren't you talking? Don't you know you have to just keep the show going? Keep the show going." I was like,
Well, that's Simon. See, Simon can keep
"That's
anything going.
Simon."
Yeah, Simon's got one of those rare gifts. He can keep anything going. So, uh,
Right. He and Dwan are like that. They can just boom, boom, boom.
yeah,
Dwan can get on and talk for 2 hours straight, all by himself. I don't know how he does it.
He's interesting. This is also from Goddess too. She says, "Can you use hypnotherapy with a small group, or have you ever used a small group?
Yes,
Ever
I've
worked
done
with a small
small
group?
groups and I've done large groups. I used to do large groups for smoking
Now,
back
what's
in the
small
day.
is small, like a minimum of two, and as large, how many is 15 or 20?
Oh no, I've done 100 people.
Whoa, no
Yeah, I've
kidding.
packed an auditorium. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I have to say, when I do that, I can't, it's not the same as when I do it one on one. One
That
on
makes sense.
one,
That makes sense.
I'm going to use what do you see when you open your eyes? When do you smoke? When, do you smoke with coffee, after sex, when you're stressed, after meals? Like I get all of your information. What brand do you smoke? What color is the interior of your vehicle? What station do you listen to in the car? All that stuff. All of my sessions are very personalized. So when I do a group, which I haven't done in well over 10 years, but when I do a group, I have to make it so that it's for everyone. So you're not going to get that same personalized kind of a session as you would.
With a large group of people.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
I have another one here from Clea Washington. She's a prominent astrologer. She says she's been hypnotized before and done past life regressions. Instead of being scared, she found it removed the fear of doing things you need to do. So that's a positive plus in her case, because that's the
Right.
whole objective of the hypnotherapy sessions anyway.
Now, I'm not saying anything against past life regression. I just don't do it. I'm not comfortable doing
That's
it.
not your strongest area.
It's just not my thing. Um, and mostly because I'm not always sure that what people remember from the past is accurate. And that's what concerns me. It's amazing how everybody that I did, they always were something extraordinary and fantastic. And they were queens and they were kings. And, everyone had this whole grandiose past life thing. And I
Yeah, that's
started
what I
to think,
always wondered. Nobody was never a street sweeper, you know,
right.
or you
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Everybody was all like crowns and jewelry and monies. And I'm saying, wasn't somebody sweeping them streets or
That's why I stopped doing it because I wasn't so sure that their memories were accurate.
okay.
But there are people out here who swear by it and they do it regularly. And when people ask me for it, I always say, please find someone who specializes in that.
Right, that's strong point. Well, I think your wonderful husband again says he's talking to Aunt. The best thing to do is call Kendall directly. She will walk you through the process.
Look
I
at
would
him, my
like a
business manager.
wonderful, supportive husband, which is why he's going to be on by himself too one day, in the not so distant future, talking about survival because things are getting crazy.
Oh
They're
my
talking about
goodness.
water, lack of food coming up in supermarkets. There's going to be a whole lot of things happening that they're going to need
And
your
with
husband's
these
advice.
banks, that's another thing. People are contacting me because they are really nervous about what's happening with the future. And I'm like, you don't pull that energy in. You've got to ride this wave and breathe and lean into it. You've got to figure out what can you do to make extra money. If your money is already a little sketchy, a little funny, start a business. There's so many opportunities, so many things that you can do, easy things too,
Well,
that
good.
you will make money. But it's a matter of, and I think that's where the life coaching is coming in, and the business coaching is really getting people confident and comfortable with doing it, and to trust their intuition and to know when it's time to start, maybe, depending on what someone's work schedule is. I have clients that will go from 5 days a week and then they tell, their company that they work for, I'm only able to work 4 days a week now.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that extra day to work on their business. It's just a matter of really being confident and applying yourself and knowing you can do it.
I have one more question here. It says, can you have hypnosis for weight loss? I'm sure.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I just opened an email from a client, and it was a gentleman, and he was saying, Kendall, just wanted to give you an update. I've lost, did he say 22 or 33 pounds? I think he said 33 pounds.
That's a whole lot of
Um,
weight to lose.
I saw him in January, and I just got this email, and he's doing great. His self confidence is up. He's really happy. Yes, it's wonderful for weight loss. And on my intake, the very last couple of pages is about weight loss. I want to know how you want to lose the weight. Some people come to me and they say, I want to do Weight Watchers or keto or Mediterranean diet, or I just want to cut down on the starches and the sugars. I don't want to crave sugar anymore. Or I want to become a vegetarian or a vegan. I want to exercise regularly and like it. It's
Hmm,
important that
hmm.
you like it. Having
Yeah,
someone
that's a good
exercise,
motivation. Yeah, you got to like it. That helps you.
right. So I'll
Um,
add in that you love it, you're addicted to it, it feels so good, and it brings you joy, and it raises your self-esteem. And every time you work out, it triggers your subconscious mind that you can't wait to work out again in 2 days or whatever the schedule is. Everyone's situation is different. And I'll
mhm.
use colors and sounds and people and all kinds of things for reinforcement. So yes, it's wonderful for weight loss. I love doing weight loss people.
Now, I have one interesting question before we get the banner, and time is going by so fast. Mistress Monica says, Kendall, have you healed or cured people from illness?
No, they healed
Interesting.
themselves. I just
Yes,
guided
yes,
them.
things starts with inside. Yes,
I
exactly.
guided them to heal themselves. Yes, many, many, many.
Okay, Astro D's must have heard us
There's
talking
Esther
about her.
D.
Yeah,
Hey, Dee.
yep, yep, yep,
That's
yep,
my
yep,
girl.
yep. So she's going to be on very, very soon. So she'll be getting a call from me after the show is over.
So be
Okay.
available.
Okay, this is melanated brown. Yes, indeed. Uh, uh, to Emperors, God King Dwan, and Jazz Numerology. She will be purchasing your book in the not so distant future, I guess very soon, coming from, I can't quite understand all this, Melody, but
Miss
anyway, she'll give me some
Genuine.
exciting
Miss
pop.
Genuine. Miss Genuine. I took
Melanated.
off my glasses because I'm trying to look cute, but I can't see very well.
Put the glasses on, girl.
Because the lights bounce off of them. No, you have it nice and big. Thanks, Jazz. At least it's really big. I can see some of it. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Emperor God King Dwan B and Jazz Numerology. I will be purchasing your book, NDCU. And I don't know what NDCU is very
I
soon.
don't know, but this is your banner. This is how people can get in touch with you, Kendall. Hypnotherapist, life coach, business consultant, beautiful mom, wonderful wife, a couple other things we
Thank
probably
you.
don't know about. Her contact number is 1-800-503 1993. That's 1-800-503 1893. Excuse me.
No, 19.
Let us not go back in the past. 1993. Thank you. Her site is hypnosiswithkendall.com. Her Facebook and IG is also at Hypnosis with Kendall. Her email is also Kendall at hypnosiswithkendall.com. Do you have a PayPal?
No,
Okay. You have a Cash App?
no.
Okay. Next time we'll get something. Okay.
No, you know what? I know people do that and I think it's great, but I would rather people let me help them as clients. I don't want anyone to send me Cash App or
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I was very uncomfortable at first because it was
it
like
doesn't.
I'm not having the show just to kind of get some money from somebody. That was my
Right. Like
base.
I'm just We're talking about hypnosis, introducing people to it, answering questions. I don't need to be paid for that.
Yeah. Well, here's what you do. I want you to hold on a second. I'm just going to announce some things that's going to be happening for the rest of this week, and I will have you back so you can give word of what you want to, any last minute words. On Wednesday, this Wednesday, I'm going to have Miss Paris Williams, an excellent tarot reader. As you know, early last year, I had four of them on at the same time. Now I'm going to have all of them on individually. Callie, K. Brown, Aura Cal, and um, Paris Williams is the fourth. She's good. Well, all of them are good, which is why they're always on. Okay. And by the way, please sign up for my free monthly newsletter. It's just the 13th day of March. And so please pick it up. It's absolutely free. And for those of you who can't listen to the show on YouTube, you can go to my website, lloyd-strayhorn.com, and listen to shows. I'm going to have Kendell on. I'm going to have, in fact, Iana's been on the podcast. Queen Afua, Phil Valentine, Jackie Levine, Kendell, you're gonna be on there at some point. So all of the people that you've seen, you can now hear on my podcast. I'm on Audible, Spreaker, uh, um, what's that? iHeart, the other ones. Well, anyway, I'm on all of them. So anyway, that's it. And I guess that is it for now. So again, sign up for my free newsletter this Wednesday. I'm going to have uh, Paris on. And of course, now let me get this straight. Kendell, before we go, darling, any parting words
Yes.
for my viewers?
Yes. For people that are afraid of hypnotherapy, I want you to know that it's gentle, it's easy, it's kind, and it's extremely effective. Nothing to be afraid of. I will never give you suggestions that we don't already agree to beforehand. And you have your reinforcement recording. So you can listen to that for as long as you want to after. It feels good. It's like a spa day for your mind and for your body. And you can change lifestyle habits. There's so much you can do. Um, it's to lose weight, to stop smoking, to feel good about yourself, for self esteem and confidence, to get over childhood issues, to break generational habits, all of that, and more, and more. So think about it. If it's something you'd like, you can always give me a call for a free 20-minute consultation at 1-800-503-1993, or you can go through my website and you can make an appointment there.
Did you say
That's
that
it.
was a free consultation, 20 minutes?
Free 20-minute consultation, yes.
Boy,
So
they're
you can get
lucky to get that
your
much time.
questions answered.
So what I'm saying, folks, is for any of you who want to know, she's willing to open up her phone line, interrupt her husband, interrupt her children to give you free 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm making it clear
My
what they're
children
doing.
are in their 30s. Well, one is
Well, you ain't gonna
25,
tell
but
nobody that,
30.
Kendell. Well, they don't have to know that. You know what I'm saying?
They're old. They don't even live at home anymore.
Oh, that's okay. They still your babies. I don't care how old they get. As parents,
And
we
I
know
keep
they can
threatening them to
1,000
get them
years
to
old.
answer the phone. They don't even
Yeah.
answer my phone calls. I have to, do the guilt
Well,
thing.
that's because you just mom. That's all. But what a mom, though. You must admit, what a mom.
Yeah,
So anyway,
they
so thank you so
they
much,
are
too.
busy people.
Well, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree, and we're gonna have Aton on later in this year. Aton, by the way, is her husband, who is a survival expert. The brother's genius. Um, he's been doing this since what, the 80s, 70s, 80s. So he is not a new kid on the block. He's got
Long,
experience,
long time.
and major TV networks have consulted him for survival techniques and whatnot. And if he talk about all the things he did, you would think he's just blowing himself up. But
You
the
would
man
swear he was
really,
lying. You
That
would
yeah,
swear
yeah,
he was lying.
yeah,
It
yeah.
sounds
Your
ridiculous.
husband is really,
He's
really
extremely
fabulous.
accomplished.
So I'm here to bear witness to your husband, and King Simon and others who know him can vouch for him as well. He has that kind of reputations in the street, and that's what really matters in the street too.
And he has the nerve to have street reputation too, with all
I
of
think
that.
that's great, honey. Sometimes you gotta put your teeth in the street, okay? That's how that goes. So anyway, we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
have
feel
another.
safe when I'm out with him, that's for sure.
Oh no, he's ready. He is ready. That's probably his middle name, Anton Ready, whatever, you know. So anyway, thank you so much, Kendall, and I appreciate this
Thank
very.
you for having me, Lloyd.
Oh, you're more
Thank
than
you.
welcome. Thank you, and everybody. I want to thank you very, very much, and thank you for the wonderful questions you had that you gave to my guest, Kendell Cobbs, the hypnotherapist, life coach, business consultant. She is really, really good. I bear witness. I even got my daughter under her session. It is very soothing. You're at home. You don't have to come out in the street. You can relax any way you want to. She will question you. So it's more than just an hour. I will tell you, just her interview, just her screening process took almost 45 minutes to an hour. That's before she got into the session with you. But I can tell you this from my experience that when she does, she's doing it based upon your feedback from that questionnaire, then her follow-up questions for you. It's a wonderful experience. All I'm saying is invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. That's all. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much. Y'all have a nice day. As you know, on Wednesday, I will have my very special guest again. Her name is Paris Williams, and she is also good at what she does. So I'm very, very fortunate to have all these wonderful guests. And of course, I got to thank my moderators, Jackie Levine on Wednesday and Cheryl Empress Rel on Wednesdays. Okay. Anyway, y'all take care. Have a nice day. Till then.